Yeah, well, I don't know if it's ever easy against these guys, but it was clearly his best game where he looked every bit in command of the whole game, and then had multiple innings of 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 pitches, and that means he's in the strike zone or around the strike zone. He made his pitches either in the strike zone or close enough for them to have to deal with them. Just a really gutsy performance at a time where we needed it.
But the first inning in Detroit, they've got him for 6 runs. It looked like he was kind of headed towards that same fate. How big was it to get out of that?
Yeah, I think the first leadoff single. Anytime a runner gets on, there's a nervous energy in the building in the first inning for us. We haven't had the best of luck in the first inning, but the double play was big. Beltran gets his hit, and then the walk to Beltre. So I think the Odor at bat really set the tone of the entire game. Like being able to close that inning out set the tone for what was an excellent performance.
Was a little bit of a breakthrough in the third. The offense finally kind of.
Yeah, the fourth inning. The 4-run inning was pretty incredible for us. I mean, that was seven or 8 quality at bats right in a row. Even George's out in the middle of it was a bullet to center field. So we hadn't done that in a while, and I think it was good for our guys to feel, the energy of handing the next at bat to the next guy in a better situation than what he inherited, and it was really good to see. We needed a breakthrough inning, and that was it.
Keuchel and Pitts so effectively before the start in Detroit. I think it was important.
What's that? Say that again.
As a Keuchel and Pitts so effectively before the start in Detroit, you think from a big picture perspective, it was good for him to get back out there and kind of get back.
Yeah. No, I mean Dallas is fine. I mean, again, I think if the analysis of him on the whole is always going to inherit the April and May, portion of his season, you're never going to get away from that. That's already in the books. I think his last 6 or 7 starts have been Dallas Keuchel quality starts. He had one bad start in Detroit, so we expected him to go out and give us a chance to win. We that hasn't changed, even though the aggregate numbers are not going to look like his until maybe the end of the year. If he rattles off starts like this, he can catch up to his norm. But we have every bit of confidence that this type of night was in Dallas.
What was he doing specifically to induce so many ground balls?
Well, I think 2 things. I think his breaking ball was really good tonight. He was getting him to chase below the zone, and he pitched on the margins. His ball moves, cuts, and it sinks both ways. And when he has both of that going, plus the breaking ball, it puts the hitter in a really tough bind. He's got to deal with action both ways. He's got to deal with the ball below the zone quite a bit. So I thought he pushed him off the plate well enough to incorporate a really good sinker down in the zone. So we made some plays behind him. He made some plays for himself. He got some swings and misses in the dirt. So he did everything. He got soft contact, he got balls in the dirt, and he got punch outs. That's a good outing.
Is there any conversation between you and him after the 8th? Or was it a kind of a
Not after the 8th. I talked to him after the 7th to see how he was, because that was the first inning he was really taxed after 6 or 7 really good innings. So after the 7th, we talked to see how good he felt. He told me he wanted to finish the game. He felt good enough to finish the game, and then he went out and did it. So I think after the 8th, it was a no-brainer for me. He'd had, I guess, 24 or 25 hitters in a row with only a walk and then the punch-out wild pitch, pass ball, whatever it was. That's pretty dominant against a really good offense. So he clearly had earned the 9th inning for sure.
Just the one game, but knowing the week your team had been and the opponent, a little more to kind of get that from him, kind of setting up the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, we need to win games. I mean, we need to win a lot of games between now and the end of the season. So obviously, we could start tonight, and we did. I think the team win that comes with a good offensive outburst, a excellent pitching performance. We played good defense, a couple of mishaps on the bases. We're not perfect, but setting the tone against a really good team is nice. We have a chance to win the series tomorrow. And I'll let you know how I feel after that. One last thing, if you guys are done. We've optioned Peacock to AAA. We'll activate Fister tomorrow off the paternity.